Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com. Now we all love to go, but we all need to stop. Now brakes are such an important part of the equation when it comes to any vehicle, Boris. At BrakeX, how do you approach making brakes differently from the other OEM manufacturers out there?
Yeah, so we believe that the quality of your brakes should never be compromised, and being able to stop is really just the baseline of our products. And on top of that, there's the level of control you get, the amount of confidence you have whenever you need to stop your vehicle, and then there's pad life, there's sustainability and everything.
So how do you build your brakes that makes them different?
Yep. So when you look at our rotors over here, all of them are made of what we call a carbon-induced formula. The amount of carbon that they have inside the rotors are 10% higher than what you usually get in the market, except of those what we call high carbon.
And a high carbon brake would be something for a racing application.
Yeah.
But this is for an OEM replacement application here.
Yes.
So what does a higher carbon content do for you?
It holds your rotors a little structure a little bit better than others. It's more stretchable. It's more resistant to cracks, and helps performance. And your rotors do not wrap in extreme temperatures.
And the extreme temperatures are the enemy of brakes when it comes to expanding and contracting. So you've kind of steeled these against that. And let's talk about the different models you have here. This is sort of a basic OEM replacement, and we're talking about value here. This is with all the brakes you make. You're talking about bang for the buck here. So these are a high quality brake. How is this one different from the standard OEM replacement?
Yeah. So material-wise, they're all the same. This one is coated. It's fully what we call geomet coated, so it's fully rust-proof. Hub bearings and the outside part, wherever your brake pads are not gonna be in contact with, is protected by the coating.
Gotcha, and it's just a cooler looking brake for those who maybe are not putting it on a work vehicle or a daily driver or something like that.
Yeah.
Very good. And then moving down the line here, we've got a drilled rotor. What are the advantages of that?
So these guys, the drilled holes really helps getting the heat wave away from your rotors, and they cool down a little bit faster than all other kinds of rotors.
And the slotted rotors, sort of the same concept?
Yep, it's sort of the same concept, but on top of that, there's these slots. They kind of work like a blade. They pierce through your brake pad, so you get a little bit extra stopping power.
A little extra grip the way they're curved like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. With your brakes, it's not just what goes into them, it's what you like to keep out of them. What are a couple of the elements you want to make sure there's not a whole lot of in here?
Yeah, so the leading cause of cracks in your brake rotors are sulfur and phosphorus, and we strictly control those two compounds in the metal in less than 0.2%.
How does that compare with other brakes that are out there?
We all usually try to really control it to less than 0.2%, but the level of deviation in other manufacturers are higher. So we are very strict in that element.
And now let's talk about the pads here. This is more of a racing application here. These pads, in fact, you're a racer yourself.
Yeah.
So you've applied all of that knowledge to making brakes and brake pads here. So what are some advantages of BrakeX's pads? So
all of our brake pads, no matter if it's a racing line or if it's OE replacement, they are baked, what we call heat treated. They're baked after they are formed, and what it does is this friction material part of the pads is going to bond better with the backing plate, so it doesn't fall off, it doesn't crack after periods that you use.
And I don't know how many times I've taken a brake off and that just falls right off the backing plate, and it's because of all that heat and all the heat and cooling and everything. So this is
Yes.
this will add to the integrity and add to the life of your brakes as well. And you guys thought of details too. You have the OEM replacement pads over there, and these are the clips that hold them on. These look a lot beefier, a lot different from the ones I see when I get brakes out of the auto parts store.
Yeah, so a lot of people actually they wanted to reuse their OEM clips instead of using those that comes with the brakes that they use for replacement. But that's something we're in mind too. These comes fully stainless, and they fit your car with no issue.
When we get over to the OEM replacement type pads, there's one little detail that you've paid attention to that I think is very, very cool, and it's the shim on the back. How is that different from others I might find?
Yeah, so when you look at our shims, Actually, you can touch it and you feel it.
Yep.
This part, and the back part, these are rubbers. Wrapped in the middle is a piece of steel, and that's also fully stainless. So these are the magic that does to the pads and make sure it's silent.
Okay, cool. So the noise reduction, that's a big part.
It's
With
fully
brakes, it
silent.
can be really irritating.
Yeah, because without these, they're going to be squeaking. They're going to be running around your caliper. And with these on, it's going to stick.
You guys thought of everything. We know some of our friends in Canada are watching. How popular are you in Canada?
So we are the #1 bestseller on Amazon.ca for brake kits. So brake pads, brake rotors.
Get some brakes from BrakeX and find out why the folks from Canada know what they are talking about. Brake-X.com for braking at its excellence. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonfireTools.com. So do not move.